All right, we're back on North Dakota Today, 9:16, and we all know that words can hurt, so we got to be very careful about what we say when we're at work or when we're out in public. But what about when you're home? What kind of words do you use when you're at home? And what do we do to our kids when we use hurtful words?
That's right. Those words can and do have a big impact on your children. Amy Jo Johnson is with Mothers of Preschoolers and a mommy blogger and a local radio personality. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Hi. Hi.
Now, I think that people sometimes don't think about what they say before they say it, but it has an impact. Tell us what happens.
Well, with that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Absolutely untrue. Words always hurt. In fact, no matter what age you are, and especially our children who they don't understand things such as sarcasm and maybe people don't really mean it, but they just don't understand that. So we really need to think about what we're saying to them because it can affect them in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know at what age words really become hurtful? I mean, when they're young, when they're toddlers, I mean, it's just mommy and daddy just talk. Yeah.
Kind of
Is it the tone?
It is a tone thing. Absolutely.
When does that usually happen, do you think?
I guess it depends on the developmental level of where your child is at, but we should just practice right from the time that they're babies to toddlers. You don't know that, so that's why it's important we start right away.
Now, you did a poll of your Facebook friends,
Yes.
and you kind of put this question out to them. What exactly did you ask? And we'll read some of the responses here.
I asked the moms if they thought that it was important to choose our words and if words do matter. And I also asked them what some of the worst words that they have heard. So got a lot of different kind of responses there.
When we were chatting
Yes.
via email about some of the responses, it's interesting the response you did get from a lot of your Facebook friends. And of course, obviously, the first one that comes to mind is you never use those four-letter words in front of your kids.
Right,
That's
because if
an
you do,
obvious
they'll come
thing.
back.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's read some of these comments and we'll get your response to it, okay? First of all, it hurts my heart when a child is resisting leaving someplace when a parent wants to go and the parent says, okay, we're leaving you then, goodbye.
Yes.
And then you see this look of panic on the child's face.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen that before.
Think about also the times when you really are lost and you didn't do anything wrong, the feeling of abandonment and how that feels. So what if your child got lost and it didn't do anything wrong? Then they might think they did do something wrong. So never instill fear or threaten your child. It's always best to discuss what should be done, why are you upset with them. Never just when the situations do happen, you don't want them to think that they did do something wrong.
All right, another comment from your Facebook friends. I hate it when parents tell their kids they're going to call the cops on them or send them to jail. Who does that? who does that?
There are parents out there who do, and I don't think they intentionally mean to do it, first of all. I don't want to be pointing fingers, but
what I have seen, and I think it was at the state fair, you see the security or the county sheriffs, and you hear the parent make the quip to the child, look, if you don't behave, this guy's going to take you away. I've heard that.
Well, first of all, we don't want to do that because what if there is a dangerous situation? You know, crime is actually growing, and unfortunately is growing in our area and community. You want them to be friends with the cops and our emergency workers. You want them to befriend them and not be scared of them, so that when something happens, they can feel safe to go and approach them.
Okay, another comment from your Facebook friends. She says, here's an interesting one I learned from a counselor friend of mine. Instead of saying to your kids you're proud of them, tell them you should be proud of yourself. Explain that a little bit and the difference between those.
I think it is good. You know, a lot of kids, they say, don't have as much self-esteem. We need to build their self-esteem. So telling them to be proud of themselves. I personally do think it is okay for the parents to tell them. I loved it when my mom and dad were proud of me. It made me want to strive to be better and do more. I always wanted my mom and dad to. So I kind of think that is a matter of opinion, but I think it is very important to say, tell the kids, be proud of yourself. This is quite an accomplishment. So teaching them to be proud of themselves is a very good thing.
Now, parents sometimes will lose control and they will say things that they don't mean. Okay, that's on the list that you gave us, think before you speak. But Amy Jo, has anybody talked about online about what to do after you have done that? Okay, I lost control, I said something I didn't mean, can you fix it?
Just always visit with your children. Always talk about. I think that's so important. That we sometimes forget to do that. It's so important to make everything a lesson. Every mistake that happens, always make it a life lesson for your child.
Yeah.
Mommy's sorry, I said something I didn't mean. Just go ahead and be honest. Or?
Yes, totally be honest with your child, because you want them, you're teaching them. So when they have a situation with a person, you want them to be able to handle it in the right way.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on North Dakota Today. And when we come back, more talk about hurtful words. Stick around.